All right, hi everyone. There's
Hi.
Chrissy again. So we have some vacation time left, and we had a lot of fun in May and June on our last trip. So we figured we'd take another little jaunt. This time we're going to go to California. Actually, mind holding that? And what we'll be doing, we'll be leaving home here. We're going to be spending the night up in Victorville, and then we'll be cruising up along the east side of Sequoia and Yosemite. So pass through Manzanar National Historic Site up at Mammoth Lakes. It's the Devil's, what is that? Devil's Post Pile. And then we'll go into Yosemite on the east side, on the Tioga Pass.
Tuolumne or something like that.
Into Tuolumne.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll spend 3 days in Yosemite, so we'll go into the Yosemite Village one day and then down here to Wawona. And then from there, we'll cruise on down to Kings Canyon National Park in Sequoia. And then we'll head home and have a stop in Joshua Tree before coming home so I can watch the Packers. So anyway, so we're looking forward to having some fun. There's Chrissy. Here we go. Okay, here's our first stop of the trip. This is the Manzanar National Historic Site. And basically what this is, it's a way to remember people that were detained here. It's a Japanese relocation camp that was formed shortly after Pearl Harbor and in 1942. So I think we're going to learn a few things today. Okay, we're going to be going into the visitor center here. And there's an area where they kind of reconstructed some of the barracks and buildings that's in the back there. And then there's a 3.5 mile drive around the perimeter, the inside of it, that we'll be doing next. So anyway, after the visitor center, we'll do that, and here we go. Okay, we just came out of the visitor center. We're going to now do the auto tour around the outside perimeter. Here's a couple of examples of the barracks that they were in, basically just tar paper buildings, and got really hot in the summer, really cold into winter. And I believe that's a mess hall down there. We'll get there. I think that's a latrine, but you can also see where the buildings were. So here we go.
If you take him, I will run and grab the car and I'll meet you right outside. Yeah. You guys can stay in the shade.
Okay, so we're walking towards the back now. There's gonna be a latrine here, and then the mess in the back, mess hall in the back. But one thing I really noticed in those barrack buildings is that there's very little privacy. It's one of the things that they all seem to talk about, is the complete lack of privacy. A bunch of different families pushed into a very small area. So you figure there are 36 blocks here, 10,000 people, and no privacy. So, and terrible weather conditions. So anyway, lucky we can drive away today. Yeah, here's an example of lack of privacy. Yeah, like I was saying before about the privacy situation. Here's the shower. Okay, we're gonna go into the mess hall here. There's the brake drum they used as a bell 3 times a day for meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I imagine very long lines. And I also imagine the food probably wasn't that great either. So, but yeah, like it says here, over the years they learned to basically supplement their meals, gardens, animals, all that kind of stuff. So they learned quickly. Here's an example of the mess hall. There was one of these on each block. Seats a lot of people, and then a lot of long lines to get in here. Okay, we're on the driving part of the tour. This is where their baseball fields were, and I guess this was a very popular part of their pastime. Sounds like baseball was one of their favorite pastimes, so this is where they did it. I guess there were lots of different teams. I guess you would have a lot for 10,000 people, and I guess it was a great pastime for them. Throughout the park, there's a number of these gardens that the internees maintained. I guess when the Army left, they ended up filling in all these gardens, tearing down the buildings, and I think what I read inside was that about 10-15 years ago, some of the family members even came back to basically renovate, to bring these gardens back to life. Okay, here's another garden. I believe this is probably the biggest one here. This one's called Merritt Park. So it's kind of amazing that people came back. To shows you how much they respected their gardens.
This is okay to step on.
If I could walk across that wood. One last view of the garden. I think this is actually pretty amazing. This is the Block 34 garden. This is where their hospital complex was. Way in the back of the park, we find the Manzanar Cemetery and Monument. Again, to honor the people that were forced to live here for 3 to 4 years. To me, there's always a little bit of irony when you look at the Sierra Nevadas in the back. That's actually the east side of Kings Canyon and Sequoia. So you have that beautiful backdrop, and then they were forced to live here. This is the Block 12 garden. So the detainees had a lot of different jobs here, so kind of ironic too that this is a camouflage net factory that they were to work at. This is where the admin buildings would have been. And this would have been the way out. This is the historic entrance to Manzanar. And this would have been where the internal police, and it looks like where the newspaper was. Okay, here's the historic entrance to Manzanar. Yes, they call it a relocation center. In reality, it was more of a concentration camp. So this would have been the first thing the detainees saw as they entered this facility. And I'm pretty humbled by this experience. And got to tell you, I'm pretty glad that we're going to be able to drive away and have a good day. So we'll be on the road here shortly. We'll head to Mammoth Lakes and continue our trip. Okay, so this is our last stop at the visitor center, and we've already been in there, already went around everything. And I guess I took some video in the visitor center, took a lot of photos, and it's a pretty complex thing that happened here, and it's a learning experience for me. And I guess the best thing that I can think of in the video that I'll make is I'll put the pictures in amongst the video and just read the captions, because a lot of that was hard for me to explain. So anyway, one last stop here, and then onward we go. So sometimes you got to find some cute and unique places. So here's Eric Shop's bakery, and of course his liquor store. So we're in Mammoth Lakes, and if we can get over there, we're going to try that Mammoth Brewing Company over there. That's where the music's coming from. Here we are. Food
And beer.
and beer. This is some high-tech ordering stuff. Us old people are confused.
Soccer's not part of high school.
A lot going on in Mammoth Lakes.
Apparently.
So it's big.
So we come here for a hike and we walk into a
rock and
rye whiskey festival. Anyway, some good music. I thought that was really good. Some country music. So anyway, we're having fun.